Whoopi, I will tell you to have several seats, but you're already sitting, so please have several seats on the floor. Wait, baby, just sit on a chair. We don't need an earthquake in California, okay? You know, you would know a thing or two about being a comedian because you were a comedian. You defended Mel Gibson for saying the N-word. You defending your boyfriend at the time, Ted Danson, for doing a roasting on you, for calling you a maid and being a slave and eating a watermelon and so on and so forth. You defended him. You defended a white person following a black person in the store. You got into it with Rosie O'Donnell, and now you are trending with this critical race theory. Everything's racist BS. Girl, sit down, because you're just here for the buck. You're not here for what is morality and what is right and what is factual. You're just here for the damn money. And it's also damn funny that they didn't even show Barry Wise, who's Meghan McCain's best friend, who's going to be on The View. And I know why they didn't show Barry Wise yet, because they're trying to use that clip, which got over 4 million views on social media. They're going to, mark my words, she's going to be on the show this month, I believe, or next month, and they're going to use that clip and to start a fight with her, just like they did with Jedediah Bila, okay? And when they knew what Jedediah Bila's stance was, because Barry Wise was the subject of the conversation as well, just as much as Bill Maher, literally, over the weekend and still to today. But they didn't talk about her, surprisingly. Actually, not surprisingly, because Brian Tita, the executive producer of the show, wants the ratings, all right? So watch this BS that Whoopi spouts, and I'll come back with some more.
Over the weekend, Bill Maher made a case for people who are vaccinated, boosted, and have been following the rules since all of this started. Take a look.
I don't want to live in your paranoid world anymore, your masked paranoid world. You know, you go out, it's silly now. You know, you have your mask, you have to have a card, you have to have a booster, they scan your head. Like you're a cashier and I'm a bunch of bananas. I'm not bananas, you are.
That's not really funny to people who have lost their kids to this vaccine, or people who've lost family members or dear friends to this. It's just, you know, listen, nobody on the planet really wants to go through this. This is not something we're doing because it's, you know, sexually gratifying. This is what we're doing to protect our families. And you don't have to do it, but stay away from everybody. Because if you're the one who's not paying attention, and you're coughing and sneezing, you don't want to, then stay out of the public, man. This is not, nobody wants this. I don't want it. And I think he's forgetting that people are still at risk who cannot get vaccinated. People who can't get that. Little kids under the age of 5. Yeah. Or people with health conditions. How dare you be so flippant, man?
Well, they act like they're over it, like a relationship. I'm over it. I don't feel like seeing him anymore.
I also want to play what Barry Wise said as well, and then I'm going to come back with some more.
I'm done.
With this question?
No, I'm done with COVID. I'm done. It's like I went so hard on COVID. I sprayed the Pringles cans that I bought at the grocery store, stripped my clothes off because I thought COVID would be on my clothes. Like, I did it all. I watched Tiger King. I got to the end of Spotify. Like, we all did it, right?
No, we did not do it.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of us did do it. And then we were told, you get the vaccine. You get the vaccine and you get back to normal. And we haven't gotten back to normal. And it's ridiculous at this point. I know that so many of my liberal and progressive friends are with me on this, and they do not want to say it out loud because they are scared to be called anti-vax or to be called science denial or to be, you know, smeared as a Trumper. I'm sorry, if you believe the science, you will look at the data that we did not have 2 years ago, and you will find out that cloth masks do not do anything. You will realize that you can show your vaccine passport at a restaurant and still be asymptomatic and carrying Omicron. And you will realize, most importantly, that this is going to be remembered by the younger generation as a catastrophic moral crime. The city of Flint, Michigan, which is 80%, I think, minority students, has just announced indefinite virtual schooling. In the past 2 years, we've seen among young girls a 51% increase in self-harm. People are killing themselves. They are anxious. They are depressed. They are lonely. That is why we need to end it more than any inconvenience that it's been to the rest of us. I think it's a pandemic. It's like at this point, it's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's a pandemic of bureaucracy. It's not real anymore.
Let's not forget.
So I personally agree with Bill Maher. Number one, I remember getting a haircut, and one of the guys in one of the haircut person next to me wanted to test somebody's temperature, and I'm like, dude, if he tests his temperature, this was like a year ago. I was like, man, if he tests his temperature, he can still be asymptomatic. He can still have it. Or I would go to the library and they would want to scan my face to test my temperature. And I'm like, what's the point of this? Because I can still be asymptomatic and have it. And it's like these different messagings that we've been getting earlier on with Dr. Fauci saying the masks don't work, with Rachel Maddow and the other liberal network saying that if you take the vaccine, then you are in the clear. And now we're not in the clear. And now masks shouldn't be worn 2% of the time. The CDC put out a statement saying 98% of the time masks don't need to be worn under certain situations. It has to be worn, and now we have to wear it. And then this booster comes out, right? And then we have this Omicron variant that doesn't really work with the variant for COVID, but at the same time, it's equivalent to Delta, but it can transfer to your body in a more faster pace. And then there's a new study that just came out recently that says CDC finally admits that natural immunity is more effective than the vaccines. I'm just like, what is the narrative and what is the messaging? This isn't about people being anti-vax. This is about people that want the truth. Okay, they want the truth. And that's all we want here is the truth. And I know this was a bunch of BS since day one. Since day one, when Dr. Richfield, the former CDC director, said the vaccine was supposed to come out the third quarter of 2021, and then Trump said, no, the vaccine is supposed to come out before the end of 2020. And I was like, wait, hold up, something is going on here. I'm not about to take a damn shot in my arm when literally a president of the United States saying one thing globally and the CDC director is saying another thing globally, right? And then this doctor from Florida comes out dying 2 weeks after taking the Pfizer vaccine, and the Florida Public Health lies about it and gives you this stupid medical terminology as to why he passed away. And his wife posted her husband's situation on Facebook, and Facebook ends up taking it down, and she has a slew of comments of people within the same situations of getting all of these lumps and bumps on their arms and all over their body. Yes, 800,000 Americans died from COVID. I understand that. I get it. We all have somebody who passed away or know somebody who passed away. I understand that. I get it. But let's just be honest here. A lot of people who had more frugal situations are diabetic. They have immune disorders. A lot of people that were embedded in these hospitals had situations, and COVID was just an icing on the cake to make their health even worse. All right. And all we want here is the truth. That's it. That's it. Dr. Fauci can't give it to us. Joe Biden doesn't even know he's president of the United States. South Africa tried to be honest to Joe Biden, but then Joe Biden wanted to do a ban on 8 regions in South Africa, making him pissed off. And at this point, I believe the news that comes out of South Africa versus the Omicron variant news that comes out here in the United States of America. Like, we want the truth, and that's all we want. It's not about being anti-vax. It's about being anti-fallacy, okay? We don't want false narratives. We want the truth, all right? And that's all I have to say about that. Anyways, y'all, do what's best for you and do what's best for your situations. It's not all one size fits all. I live on my own. I'm by myself. I don't have an older person with me. And when I do have somebody, which is rarely at the time, to hang out, they're sitting in the back seat of my car and I'm wearing my damn mask, okay? Okay. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do subscribe and click the bell. I'm tired of this bullshit. So you'll be the first to know when I upload. Deuces.